me this starts. Yeah, we can record.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the Open Mapping Community Working Group. So it's so good to have you here with us. And thanks for joining. So the program will start shortly. Let's wait a bit for few people. Okay, so yeah, once again, welcome to the Skillshare session with Geoffrey, Kateregga, and Arnalie Vicario. So before I proceed, I would like to introduce you to our speakers for today. Arnalie will be taking us through the OSM diary, writing your OSM diary, while Geoffrey will be taking us through editing the OSM Wiki. So to start, let's get to know our guests, our speakers. So let me start with Arnalie. Arnalie Vicario is what? Sorry about that. Yeah, Arnalie Vicario is from the Philippines, and she's the online community engagement lead for Arts and the mother of Rohan. Yeah, she's passionate about building inclusive space in the OSM community, as well as advocating for women. So that is Arnalie, and she'll be taking us today through writing your OSM diary. And also we have Geoffrey Kateregga from, sorry, I'm not sure I know where Geoffrey is from.
Uganda.
Yeah, Uganda. That sounds great. So Geoffrey will be taking us through how to edit your OSM Wiki. He started contributing to OSM in 2012 after attending a mapping party in Kampala. Then he got interested, and that was how he started in 2015. He started working with the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team. Then now he serves as the community manager at the Eastern and Southern Africa Hub, supporting the growth of OSM communities in 22 countries. Wow, that's huge. In Northern, Central, Eastern, and Southern Africa through community support, capacity building, training, mentorship, and grants. And Geoffrey is an active member of OSM Africa, a network of local communities across Africa, working together to organize the biannual State of the Map Africa conference that happened in Kampala, Uganda in 2017, and in Abidjan, Ivory Coast in 2019, and online in 2021. Also, Geoffrey is a member of the OSM F Microgrants Committee and a member of the local chapter and community working group, as well as the Arts Community Working Group and the Arts Training Working Group. He's also a member of the Wikimedia community user in Uganda. So let's welcome Geoffrey, and thanks for coming online to share with us on how to edit our OSM Wiki. So to start with, Arnalie will be going first today on the program, telling us about how to write a OSM diary. So Arnalie, please, let's have you.
Yes, thank you, Mide. But yeah, just to start, just so everyone knows, this webinar is live streamed via YouTube, and yeah, will also be recorded. So yeah, thank you for being with us tonight or today, and thank you, Mide, for the wonderful introduction. So yeah, also thank you for choosing to be with us this Friday. I know there's a lot of things you can do this Friday, but yeah, happy that you chose to be with us today. So yeah, let me start off. Very happy to talk to you about some guidances when writing your OSM diary. And yeah, let me start off with a little story time. Let me share with you the first time I wrote OSM. I wrote my OSM diary. So I was in the airport waiting to board my plane, and I think we have an hour of waiting. So out of nowhere, I started writing my OSM diary, or my first OSM diary, and I was using my phone. So yeah, I was just very excited to share or post something. It's about a previous OSM event that I co-organized. So yeah, and what more fitting channel to use to share my excitement is the OSM diary. So yeah, that's actually my answer to this question. Why I think you should write an OSM diary, because yeah, if you have any activities to share that you do in OSM, an event you organized or you attended, when you're celebrating your OSM birthday, you're starting a new project related to OSM, or simply your mapping activities, you can share anything through your OSM diary. So now, I also want to ask you if you have written your OSM diary, or if you're a frequent writer of OSM diary. Why do you think people write OSM diary? Or if you have not written an OSM diary before, yeah, tell us, or tell me why you are here, and why are you interested to know about OSM diary writing. You can share your thoughts through the chat.
Okay, you can drop your comments in the chat and I will read it out.
Yeah, Rabi said he's not written but very excited to write one. Thank you, Rabi. And actually, Rabi is the one who requested this Skillshare session. So let's see. Nicole have written 2 diary posts last summer, and they were about a project trying to do with OSM regarding post boxes, and looking forward for advice and feedback. Oh, and it helped. Yeah. Sember is excited to learn how to write one. Thank you for being with us, Sember. And Romeo said, I love letting people learn from my mapping experience. Nice. Geoffrey has written 3. And John have written 1, and a frequent writer. Yes. Ralph wrote about his voting member status. And yeah, thank you so much for all the sharing, and yeah. Yeah, so thank you for all your responses. Keep them coming. Share whatever you want to share about why people should write. And yeah, maybe after this, yeah, we're crowdsourcing the answer to this question. So yeah, we'll have a write about that. So yeah, moving on. So yeah, when you go to osm.org, on the top right of your corner, you can click on the user diaries to browse through and read some OSM diaries of OSM contributors. So it's also available here at blog.openstreetmap.org, plus other OSM related blogs. And we actually recently added a channel. If you're in the hot Slack, we recently added the channel hashtag OSM diary dash post. So if you join that channel, you get to be notified if there's a new OSM diary posted. So yeah, I think the first and foremost thing that you have to know is, yeah, you of course you need an OSM account to be able to write on an OSM diary. So yeah, when you're logged in, you can and go to the user stories, you can see the plus new diary entry button here, or you can go to your profile and then go to your diary and then also add another new diary entry. So yeah, once you click on that, I hope you can see this other screen, new diary entry. You can see, can someone confirm? Yes, thank you, Nicole. Yeah, so once you go to the new diary entry, you can see like 4 boxes that it asks you to fill out. So of course, the subject and the body, these are the required one, and then language and location are optional things that you can fill out. But yeah, let's go on the subject one. So on the subject box, it's very direct to the point. So it's actually, yeah, it's the title of your post. So you can write, what subject you're going to talk about in your diary. And then, yeah, on the body, of course, this is the part where you talk more about the subject of your post. And yeah, it needs very little coding. But yeah, OSM Diary uses Cram Down, which is based on Markdown. So, but yeah, don't get too intimidated. There's already like a cheat sheet here of common use cram down syntax, and you can also click on this one so you can have more information on the syntax, or yeah, on the coding part. So yeah, let's try. Like, you can put like, this is a heading, and then you can always preview it just to see that, yeah, you put the right thing there. And then so you can also, a little trivia, that if you know HTML already, you can use that too. So yeah, for example, HTML for heading. So yeah, so you can, if you're more familiar with HTML, you can do that. But yeah, this, of course, there's a cheat sheet here that you can always refer to. But make sure you leave a space here, so the OSM Diary knows that there's a code break. Because if you don't leave a space, this is how it will look. This is how it will look like. Oh, it's still, but for example, yeah, you see, it didn't work because there wasn't a space here. So you have to have a space there, or you can do the, of course, the HTML, which is VR. Oh, it didn't work too. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working for me, but yeah, so let's try a text URL, or adding a link. So you can see here, adding a link, you should have a text and then a URL. So let's put like a test and then a URL inside. We have here like a mock URL. So yeah, if you can see, if your code works, or your syntax is not an error, you can, it should work. Something like that. And I think, yeah, the most crucial part to know is how to add and link a photo. So going back to my story earlier about my first OSM diary, I inserted images, and I used Google Drive to upload and get the image link. But it worked for me, but then after that, someone else messaged me and said that my image link is broken. So yeah, lesson learned from me is to never use Google Drive to link an image. So you should use public sharing sites to link your photos. So these are sites where the photo is accessible to other sites, or like you can embed it. So examples of that are Wikimedia Commons, IMGUR, GitHub, or yeah, any other already uploaded picture in Wikimedia can be used. So yeah, and if you, for example, use an existing photo uploaded in Wikimedia, so this is not the correct link for that. If you do that, yeah, you can see that it didn't load. So what you have to do is to copy the link address. Yeah, for it to work. Or you can also do like open link in new tab and yeah, check, copy paste the link here. So also in adding photo, it also asks you for an alt text or an alternative text. So the alt text is a short written description of the image you're adding. So it won't show in the body when it's correct, but yeah, when the image can be viewed for some reasons, for example, it doesn't load, or like earlier you see that this one didn't load correctly because I put like I put a wrong link. You can see the alt text instead of the link because yeah, it wasn't loading. So yeah, it is also the alt text is also important for the website's accessibility and search engine optimization. I will share a chat on how you can do a well or put a well-written alt text. Yeah, I won't be able to discuss it here, but yeah, you can check that link so you know how to do a very good alt text. So yeah, once, for example, I have written my subject and I have written my body. You can preview it first before or edit it first, just to see that everything is working. So yeah, moving on, as I've said earlier, language and location are optional, but of course, it's very good to have the input or to input the language you're using in your post. And then the location is optional. You can share what location your subject or your diary is talking about. You can also use like a map here. Yeah, for example, you're talking about the Philippines. You can just pin it here. But yeah, for privacy concern, please don't share your location in the OSM diary post. Just share what your subject is talking about. So yeah, after that, you can publish your post. But yeah, take note that once your diary is published, you can't delete it. You can only edit it. I just learned about this last week or yesterday. And also it's worth mentioning when you add or post a comments to other user diaries, you can't delete or edit your comment. So yeah, these are just some reminders when writing your OSM diary, just to reiterate what I was discussing earlier. Yeah, don't get intimidated with cram down. And if you know HTML already, you can use it. Also for photos, you use a public sharing sites to link your photos. Don't use Google Drive, please. I've listed here some public sharing sites where you can upload your image and then link it to your OSM diary. But if you know other sites, you can share it through the chat. And yeah, location is optional. Don't share your location, just share the location of your subject or your diary. And last but not the least, you can't delete a published diary. Once it's published, yeah, you can't delete it. I'm not sure how. I tried to search how, but yeah, I haven't seen how. If you know how to delete a OSM diary, please feel free to share it through the chat. And yeah, that's all for me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask later in the question and answer after Geoffrey presents, or yeah, ask directly on the chat. I will check the chat after this. So yeah, over to Geoffrey.
Thank you, Arnalie. That was a great one, and I hope everybody learned how to edit and write your OSM diary. So as Arnalie has mentioned, please, if you have any question or any comments, just drop in the chat session, then we'll tend to it later. So before we proceed, once again, I'd like to welcome everyone for attending the first year community working group webinar, stated as OSM diary and editing of OSM Wiki. So thanks for joining. Before we have Geoffrey on board, I'd like to tell you about the Humanitarian Open Mapping Working Group. It's a group dedicated to support the engagement of community groups and contributors, aiming to leverage OpenStreetMap data and tools for positive social, humanitarian, and development impacts. So that is whom we have. And if you're interested in joining, I'll be dropping a link in the chat session. You can access the link and follow the prompts on how to join the community. So let's proceed. Let's have Geoffrey walking us through how to edit OSM Wiki. Geoffrey, let's have your piece.
Yep, thank you, Kimide. I'll go ahead and share my screen. So yeah, we are going to be chatting about the OSM Wiki and why you should contribute to it, how you can contribute, what is there, what you can do with it, and what you can't do with it in the next 30 minutes. So yeah, to kick it off, what is a wiki? Yeah, so a wiki basically is just a website or a database which is developed collaboratively by a community of different users, allowing anyone to add and edit the content. So yeah, there are many different wikis out there. I think the biggest one that is known world over is the Wikipedia. The Wikipedia is also like an example of a wiki that anyone can edit and contribute to. But also wikis are also used to document different projects. So particularly for OpenStreetMap, we do have the OpenStreetMap wiki, which is a place where you can find help documentation, how to do things on OpenStreetMap. You'll find technical documentation on how to use tools, for example, like JOSM. You'll find even promotional material. For example, you'll find information about state of the map or about OpenStreetMap itself. So anything that is related to OpenStreetMap. So it is documented to design, to provide guidance for map contributors and users. But what is really interesting about this wiki is that you can also contribute to it. You can also use it. So really contributing to the OSM wiki is another way how you can also contribute to OpenStreetMap. So there are different ways how people contribute. Others do the mapping, but you can also contribute by actually doing documentation by contributing using the OpenStreetMap wiki. So yeah, of course, when you go to the main page, like the URL is, of course, wiki.openstreetmap.org. And when you go there, you see the main page. And the main page has different things. It has like the news. So it has some news about OpenStreetMap. It has also upcoming events. It has some guides. For example, here, the beginner's guide using OpenStreetMap. Then there is like this side panel, which is also very useful to take you quickly to things like the map features page, the map itself. This link will take you to OpenStreetMap, donations, wiki discussions, and so on. So there are different links on the left here that can quickly take you to other pages. So yeah, what are some of the most useful pages I've seen personally that I've used? Like I've mentioned, there is like the help page. I find like information about OpenStreetMap, how to contribute. Like when you go there, you can really discover some things that you have never heard of. Like I mentioned, there is also like the news here, the news page, where you will read news about OpenStreetMap. For example, like the first item here is the State of the Map organizers have announced a call for logo design. So if you're interested, you know, to design logos, you can submit a design via the wiki as well, and people will vote on it. Yeah, there's also like upcoming events. I think this one is very interesting because it means you can also add your own event. So yeah, if you have like an upcoming event, then you can be able to add it here. There is like instructions here on how to add your own events. Yeah. So if you're having a mapathon, a mapping party, a meetup, yeah, do add it so that the rest of the community know what you are doing. For example, our Skillshare today was added here, which is great. Okay, so yeah, so there are some of the useful pages. I think the other one, which is I think for me the most useful, is the map features page that I've just clicked on here. So this is where you'll find a list of all the different features we can map on OpenStreetMap with a documentation of how they have been written. On how they can be tagged. For example, if I want to know how to tag a cafe, then I can find like the documentation here, but I can also, you know, open it to read more of what a cafe is and what are the, for example, the other things that you can combine with it. But like I mentioned, the cool thing about this is that you can also contribute to this. If there's something that is missing on this page, you can actually improve it. And yeah, one of the things you can do, for example, if you want to see, for example, the history of this page, who has written this page, just like we check like the history of features on OpenStreetMap, we can also check the history of a page. So if I click on the history button here, I'll see when the page was created. Yeah, it has like several pages. I can't, if I go to maybe the last page here, I can see, yeah, it was created in 2007 by this user. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. Okay, so you can see the history of a page. Yeah, people have also used the wiki to put the import guidelines. If you want to import data into OpenStreetMap, then you can document that so that people know the source of the data, workflow for you to import it into OpenStreetMap, etc. You all do that on the OSM Wiki. So that's why it's important for you as an OSM contributor to also know how to edit the wiki. So what are some of the things you can do with this tool? Of course, you can create your user page. We're going to talk about that in a short while, but what it really means is your personal page on the OSM Wiki where you can tell other people about you. You can translate a page to your local language. So if you check here, these are the different languages that are available right now on this page. So if I want to read this page in a different language like Dutch or Espanol, then I can just click on this and then I'll be able to read it in a different language. But what it means as well, like you may find some pages that in English and you'd like to see it written in your local language. yeah, this wiki supports very many different languages, so you can also translate an existing page to your own language. Yeah, and Anna has shared some links there where you can get some documentation on how to translate any page on the wiki into your local language. I've already mentioned that you can add an event that is how you're doing around OpenStreetMap. Most importantly, you can propose a tag. So there is like the way tags come about in OpenStreetMap. You first propose a tag, people vote on it, and then it is like a new feature, then it is added to OpenStreetMap. So yeah, to be able to propose a tag, you have to do that using the wiki, but also you can find existing ones, and then you can vote and say, yeah, that one should be added to OpenStreetMap or not. You can also create a page for your OSM community. If you're doing a project, you can also do create an organized editing page. Actually, let me show you some of these examples. So if you search here for organized editing guidelines, you will see the page for that, for those guidelines. So this is like the page, and if you go here, you'll find a list of different activities. So it is really advised when you're doing an organized editing activity, you can add, you can add a page, an organized editing page to document your activities. For example, Unite Maps Initiative, they have created a wiki page for their initiative where you can read about how to contribute. So it's a good way because OpenStreetMap is based around collaboration. Everything should be in the open. Share it with the wider community. They'll give you feedback. And one of the things on each wiki page is the discussion page. So if you look at the discussion page here, you find like you can, leave a message to the people who do this, and you can also discuss about a particular page. Yeah, so the other one I was telling you about are the new like tagging guidelines. Like if you want to propose a new feature, so if I search here for proposed features, it will take me to that page for proposed features. So this is the page for where people can, propose new features. So if I go down here, I can also see the list of proposals by status. So if I want to see those ones where the voting is currently happening, there's one here. So someone is proposing this tag and the voting is going on, meaning that, yeah, you can proceed there, read about that new proposed tag, and then you can vote. So one of the things we are going to look at is also like, how do you sign? Because when you comment or when you add a comment, you're supposed to add your signature. For example, this user here signed by adding like their username and the timestamp. So yeah, we're also going to look at how we can do that. Yeah, so that's another example of a page that exists, and how we kind of can use it. So to be able to create an OSM wiki, or to edit the OSM wiki, actually, you have to create an account. Creating an account is quite easy. You just have to choose a username, just like the way we choose usernames on OpenStreetMap. So you choose a username you want to use. If you want, you can also make your username on OpenStreetMap similar to your username on the wiki page, on the wiki, but those are two different websites. Okay, you cannot use your OSM login details to log into the OSM wiki. You have to create a new account afresh. So of course, you just choose a password, you add your email address, you can add your real name if you want, it is optional. And this just shows you how many edits have been made on this wiki. So people have made 2.2 million edits on this wiki. It has 66 pages, 66,000 pages, and of recent contributions, 665 people have contributed to the wiki, and that means editing it actively. So creating an account is quite easy, but I just want to say that some users have complained about this error. You may try to create the account, and your IP is maybe blocked from creating an account. This has been reported by mostly by users in Uganda. I've had several people having challenges in DRC. I don't know which other countries, but it's a common error. But there are ways to work around it, around this issue. Basically, what you have to do is you can ask a friend. Actually, the easiest one, you can change the internet. So if you are, for example, accessing the internet through a hotspot, you can change to a new connection and try. If it fails, again, I've had some people who have used like a VPN, and once they use a VPN, then they are able to create the account. If those two things fail, the third option would be you can ask a friend maybe in another country or in another location to create the account for you, share with you the login details, and then you can go ahead to edit and use your OSM Wiki account. You can see here the OSM Wiki is powered by the Media Wiki. That's kind of like the code behind it is from Media Wiki, which is shared by an open license. So we reused code from the Media Wiki to kind of build this. Once you have an account, of course, you can log in, and once you're logged in, then you can start editing. I think one of the best things to do when you create your account, create a user page. Okay, so what is a user page? A user page is like your profile on the OSM Wiki. If someone finds you and they want to read about you, then they can find some more information about you. And this is useful, for example, if you, like I mentioned, whenever someone creates a new page, all the history is, even if you make a simple change. So if I added like a word on this page, it will be preserved in the history. So like when someone reads the history, then they will know, okay, it is so and so who made this change. These are the amount of bytes they added or removed. And also, like, you can see there is a comment. So there is always, you can always leave a comment when you edit the wiki. The same thing like we do in the, when we're editing OpenStreetMap, you can always add a comment. I'll show you how to do that as well. So basically, I'll go ahead here and log in to my account. So you can see here on top, the language here I'm using is English. If you're not an English speaker, I have like a different first language, then you can change it in your preferences so that by default you view the wiki language that you prefer. But like I mentioned, there is this is my user page that I created. When you create your account, if you don't have a user page, this will show in red. But to be able to create the user page, it's quite easy. You go to that red link, you click on it, and once you click on it, it will bring you to ask you to create the user page. And once you click on create user page, it will allow you to edit. So basically, your editing will look like this. So we have already been talking about Markdown language in the previous session with Arnalie. So the OSM Wiki uses what we call the wiki markup, which is like basically almost like a markup. But it has two different types of editors. So it has the visual editor. It also has the source editor. So the visual editor will look something like this. So you can always switch the editor you are using from here. So meaning here, I can now come and add something. Yeah. So I've just made a small edit to my user page, and I'm using the visual editor. Yeah, but if I want, for example, to link, to add a link, let's say someone is wondering where Kampala is. If I want to add like the link to, to OpenStreetMap for Kampala, then I can add that by simply, just using this link. So let me just show you how to add the link. So basically, I'm already doing wiki editing now, but I'm editing an existing page. So I'm going to search here for Kampala, get the URL, and then I'll link it to my page. So yeah, this is Kampala here. I'll go to share here, get the link, copy my URL, and then I can add it to my my page here. So I select that, go to link, and then I can link to an external site. So you can either link to the OSM Wiki, or you can link to an external site. So I'll paste there my URL, and yeah, done. So if someone clicks on this, then they will know where I'm based. So the last thing I do after making this small change is to click save. And like I said, whenever you save something, you are supposed to leave a summary. So here I will say, So just updating city, just a comment that other people can read. So yeah, I've made my edit and it now appears on my page. So that's how you can edit an existing page. The other thing that you can do, you can also, apart from viewing the history of a page, you can also see the edit, that source code that is behind that page. So let me just find one page here. Let me show you. Actually, I mentioned that you can write a page for your OSM community. So yeah, this is a wiki page for Mapdex, which is an OSM community in the Philippines. So here they document, their current projects, their events, the current ones and the past ones. They document like the tagging schemes they use, the current partnerships they have, their recent achievements. So yeah, if anyone wants to, even to contact them and follow their social media pages, they have also added them here. So really, like, that's the purpose of the wiki, that you can also use it to add what you do around OpenStreetMap. So if I want to see, the source code for this page, I'll just come here to edit source code, and I will see. So I'm just going to use this page to try and explain the kind of the formatting for wiki markup. So you see, when you see these equal signs, like there are three of them on each side, that is a title, like Arnalie was showing us. So if I want like a title above this, then I'll put like two equal signs. So this code that you are seeing here is a table. So a table is written like this. It's called a class wiki table, sortable. But there are some tools which we use, which allow us to import tables in our wiki page. If you want to write numbers, like number 1, number 2, like a bullet, like a numbered list, then we use this hash sign. So whenever I see this hash sign, that's like a number. The other thing that you can do is also to write like bullets. Yes, this is a very good example. These are the contributors from Mapbex. So you can see each name starts with a star. So what that star is a bullet, you know. So if I go back here, I can show you how that looks like on the front end. So yeah, these numbers in the source code, they are written as hash, like the hash line, and then the table, it was looking different, and also these bullets were starting with the asterisk. Okay, so yeah, that's like how the code looks like in the background. But yeah, I'm gonna try and wrap up like the next 5 minutes. But how do you start a new page? Let us say you want to start a new page for your OSM community, and you want to write about it. So one of the things that you can do before you write a new page, first search to make sure that doesn't exist. Then you can create it. So for example, if I want to write about OpenStreetMap Uganda, then I can come here and search. So these are the pages which have the word Uganda in them. There is this wiki project Uganda. So there is a wiki project that try to document work in every country and also like the communities in that country. So this is like yeah, wiki project Uganda. So you should also check out the one for your country and, you know, add necessary information. For example, let me check out the one for wiki project South Sudan. If I go there, yeah, this is the page. You can always read what is there. But most importantly, if you're a member of that local, of the OSM community in that particular country, you can actually keep on updating this page with new information. So if we check when was the last time this was edited, that was in November 2021, and also in 2020. So you can always also add things where necessary. Yeah, but what I wanted to show you is how do you create a page for a community in case you want to create a page for your community. So what you realize is that this is the title of the page, which is South Sudan. If you check in the URL, it says, yeah, wiki.openstreetmap.org/wiki/South Sudan. So the title is right here on the URL. Okay, so if I want to create a wiki page called OpenStreetMap Uganda, then I'm just going to come here on my URL. I'll remove South Sudan and I'll write OpenStreetMap Uganda. Okay, so if I press enter here, it's going to tell me there is currently no text in this page. You can search for this page title in other pages, or you can create this page. So that means if I click on create, I will be creating a page called OpenStreetMap Uganda to document things about the community. Okay, so if I go ahead and say create page, it will give me an empty kind of page here. Okay, so what do I need to add? I need to add like the introduction. That should be like the first thing on any page. What is this page about? So OpenStreetMap Uganda is the local contributing to the map and yeah, advocating for yeah, for open map data in Uganda. So I'm just giving a quick example. Yeah, just making this up. So that's like my introduction. Yeah, interesting in the chat there. There's no OSM Uganda page. Yeah, it's not yet there. So hopefully there's someone from Uganda on this webinar, and they'll be able to create that page. So quickly, I'll just show you how to add like a section. Let us say I want to add like our events. So I'll come here and say events. So I'm just adding now the sections. Now I'm using the source editor. Remember we said there are two editors. There is the source editor and then the visual editor. So there is events. I can also put community members. Then I can also put maybe a list of partnerships. Then projects. Okay. So these are like my sections, and now I can go back, edit and add content on each. But check what happens if I come here to do preview. And this is advisable. Always do preview before you save changes so that you know what you are adding, how it looks like. Okay. So if I click on show preview here, it's going to turn this code in and show me how it looks like. So yeah, of course, there is my introduction at the top. Then these headings have actually been turned automatically into a table of contents here. So it makes it easier for people who visit your page to navigate to the sections that they want to go to. But if there is a lot of OpenStreetMap, Uganda. Okay. So I've already reviewed my changes. They're okay. Now I'm going to save my page. So the good thing about the wiki is that it's a collaborative thing, which means that I've started the page. Another person from maybe Uganda or elsewhere who is interested can also come and add more information. Have a mistake here. I can also edit it right here. It's supposed to be 2 equal signs. If I want like a subheading between the community members, I can also add like another level of heading. For example, if I have something like youth mappers chapters, and I want to list the youth mappers chapters in Uganda, then I can do that. Show preview. So now there is this title, but then there's also another title below that, which is like on a lower kind of level. So yeah, I know I want to leave some time for questions. So I will end it here. But yeah, one of the things that I have in these slides that I'll share is just a summary of this syntax that you can easily follow along if you're going to edit here. So always should click the preview button and also add the comment in the summary section. And there's some useful links here that I'm going to share in the chat. One to the wiki syntax and another one on how to easily generate tables. So yeah, that's it. I'll hand over back to Mide if there is any questions I can take on.
Thank you, Geoffrey. That was insightful. That was awesome. And I know some people are just hearing about OSM Wiki for the first time, and some people are curious. That is why they had to join this session to learn. So I'll just like to entertain 2 persons. One will tell us about if they've ever edited OSM Wiki, And also if they have an OSM diary, let's just hear from you. You know, Arnalie was sharing her experience that the first time she wrote a OSM diary, she was in transit. So I'd like to welcome at least 2 people. Let's just be brief about it, please. Just indicate
Yeah, there is one question in the chat that I'd like to answer. Someone asked, because Ralph asked, because it is a wiki, does that mean that anyone can log in and change information on a page? That's a good question, Ralph. The answer is yes. For some pages, there are also some pages which are restricted. These are like templates that sometimes help to, for example, you can't easily edit the some things like on the main page. Yeah, because it is kind of like restricted, but most of the pages, yeah, yes, it is possible to go in and edit them as long as you have an account.
All right. I hope he was able to answer your question, the person that asked the question. I was actually talking, I didn't know I was muted, sorry. So I said, okay, I would like to hear from 2 persons to share with us their experience on writing OSM diary. Like Arnalie shared her experience with hers. The first time she wrote us was when she was in transit. So I'd like to welcome at least a person or 2 to share their experience with us. If you have anything you'd like to share with us, or maybe you have any problem editing OSM Wiki and you would like to share, so we can discuss together. Anyone? Have you ever tried editing your OSM Wiki and you had issues you'd like to discuss? Let's talk about it. Or if there's any more insight you'd like to share with us. Please, I would want you to talk and not just comment on the chat session.
I can share.
All right, thank you. Let's have you.
Hi there. So I would say that if you are thinking about writing a diary entry and you're feeling nervous about it, you should just do it. Because I was very nervous writing my first one, especially because I had seen so many that looked so involved and the people were so smart. I was really nervous that I would write it and then it would be terrible. But it was really great, even though my posts don't look great. I got some comments that really helped me move forward in my project. So if you are hesitating, just do it.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you, Nicole. That was a great one. Okay, Geoffrey, let's have you.
Just wanted to add something on Nicole's comment. Yeah, and I think the other thing is also to read other people's diaries. I think they're also very interesting, and yeah, when you read them, you get encouraged to write your own as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So Nicole said, even if you're not sure, just do something, like try something, and you never can tell it can even come out well. So thank you. Do we have any other question? You have question for Arnalie and Geoffrey, please. Let's have you. If there's anything that you're not clear about. Any question? Do we have anyone on the session? Do we have any question? No one? Okay, I guess that's all for today. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining the program, for tuning in. And I guess you must have learned 1 or 2 things. And I'm sure after today, after the program,
Did we lost Mide?
Sorry, I hope you can hear me. Okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
So I hope after today you start writing your OSM diary, if you've never written one. And also you put into use what Geoffrey had taught us and see how well you can do, how far you can go. So thank you once again for joining. Arnalie, can you please help me drop this link to the chat session, the diary wiki session, so they can also add their feedbacks and comments, should in case they come by any on the long run. Yeah, thank you. So we'll be having International Women's Day next month. It's fast approaching, and the Humanitarian Community Working Group will also be organizing a program. We'll be having Angela TV. I don't know if she's here. We'll be having Angela TV to talk to us about the program, community Ask Me Anything session. So it's going to be a community Ask Me Anything session with Angelina TV. And we look forward to seeing everyone. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So that is that about that. And now we'll be having a group photograph. Please turn on your video. Let's see your face, please. So please, after the group photo, please, you have to put on your social media pages and tag OSM Diary and OSM Wiki. Tag us, please, and share on your social media pages. So let's see your face, everybody. Arnalie, please, you take it from your hand.
So 1, 2, 3, smile. Great. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Mide, for hosting.
Yeah, good to see you, Abdurrahman.